A very good morning to all of you. I, Rahul Arora, would like to the would like to explain you the course objectives of drafting, pleading, and convincing, which also includes the syllabus of the course. Thereafter, we will discuss about the course outcomes, and in the end, I would like to throw some light on the teaching pedagogies to be applied by me while giving the lectures with regard to the our new subject on drafting, pleading, and convincing. Now, we would like to start with the same. The first objective of this subject oblique paper is that the paper drafting, pleading, and convincing has been included in the syllabus with the view to equip the students with legal drafting, pleading, and convincing skills, and thereby to give practical experience about the documents. The second course objective is this course is designed to acquaint the students about the art of pleading for court purposes. It also helps law students to acquaint with the art of drafting and convincing for other legal forums such as tribunals and registrar of assurances. The main focus of this course is to familiarize the students to draft or prepare the case papers like plaints, written statements, interlocutory applications involved in the civil cases and the bail, maintenance applications, exemptions applications, etc. in criminal matters, and also to familiarize the students about the petitions to be filed in the case of constitutional matters such as if any citizen's right, fundamental right has been infringed, then in that case he has the remedy to file a writ petition either before a high court or the Supreme Court of India under Article 226 or Article 32 of the Constitution respectively, and also apprise the students about the appellate matters also. Next, drafting of deeds and documents for various purposes in a company usually forms the part of multifaceted duties of the advocate. For this purpose, the course content of this study material have been so designed as to provide the practical orientation and develop necessary acquaintanceship in drafting these legal documents. Moreover, drafting of petitions, deeds, and documents is an art, and even acquiring working knowledge in this demands applications of skills of higher order. The students are therefore advised not only to master the principles and applications of drafting and pleading, but also keep themselves abreast of latest development by regularly resorting to reading of at least one of the leading English newspaper and additional source material concerning corporate world which are published from time to time, such as the different law journals in this regard, to make students understand the nature of and applicable laws to convincing, drafting, and pleading practice in India, and thereby to develop their thinking, which will help them to become a good lawyer. So, these are some of the course objectives of this particular subject. Now I would like to throw some light on the syllabus of this particular subject, that is drafting, pleading and convincing. The whole scheme of this subject or this course is divided into 4 units. Unit number 1 deals with the fundamental rules of pleading, which includes the definition of the pleadings and its rules, which includes the plaint structure and its amendment procedure and so on and so forth. Further, this unit also deals with the procedure for filing written statement by defendant and also deals with the part of filing the affidavit. Further, it also has given due emphasis to drafting applications under Section 5 of the Limitation Act, whereby to condone the delay in filing any suit or any appeal as the case may be. Further, it also deals with the drafting of an application for setting aside ex parte decree, and thereafter it also deals with the filing of or the drafting of writ petitions as such. The second unit of the syllabus deals with the civil pleadings, which includes suit for filing, suit for recovery under Order 37 CPC. As you all are aware that 37 CPC, Order 37 CPC deals with the filing of a summary suit or the summary procedure, which I will be able to dwell upon in my further series of lecture. The second subtopic which we have to deal in this unit is suit for permanent injunction. Thereafter, we will be dealing with the drafting of the suit for dissolution of partnership firm. Thereafter, we will be able to draft an application for temporary injunction under Order 39 CPC, and also to file an appeal from original decree. Furthermore, we are going to deal with the drafting of revision and review petitions under this second unit of this particular syllabus of drafting, pleading and convincing. Now I would like to come to the third unit of the syllabus. The third unit of the syllabus of drafting, pleading and convincing deals with the general principles of pleadings, which includes application for filing a bail. Second is application under Section 125 CRPC. Third is drafting of compounding of offences application under Section 320 Clause 1 of CRPC. And thereafter, we will be dealing with the drafting of complaint under Section 138 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1882 or 1881 as a case may be. Further, we will be also be able to deal with an application under Section 482 of the CRPC. The last topic, which we are the last unit of the syllabus is, that is notice to the tenant under Section 106 of Transfer of Property Act. Second is notice under Section 80 of CPC. Third is notice under Section 434 of the Companies Act. Thereafter, we will be able to draft the reply to the notice, and thereafter we will be able to draft the general power attorney and also distinguishes between the general power attorney and special power of attorney. Thereafter, we will be dealing with the drafting of will, agreement to sell, sale deed, lease deed, partnership deed, mortgage deed, relinquishment deed, gift deed, petition for the grant of probate oblique letter of administration, and also we will be dealing with the drafting of an application for appointment of receiver oblique local commissioner. Also, we will be able to deal under this unit is to draft an application for compromise of suit and also to draft an application for appointment of guardian. In this unit also, we would also like to draft an application to sue as an indigent person under Order 39 CPC. Further, we would be able to draft an appeal under Order 43 CPC, that is appeal from orders. Thereafter, we will be able to draft an application for restitution under Section 144 of the CPC. And thereafter, we will be able to draft an application for caveat under Section 148A of CPC. And thereafter, writ petitions and special power attorney, and also reference notice of reference to arbitration and deed of arbitration. And in the last, we will be able to draft a notice for specific performance of contract. So the whole syllabus of the drafting, pleading and conveyancing is divided into 4 units of pleadings, drafting and conveyancing each. Now I would like to throw some light on the course outcome of the whole syllabus. As you all are aware that the syllabus of the drafting, pleading and conveyancing subject is divided into 4 units. As such, I would like to describe the course outcome of each and every unit. As such, I have made 4 outcomes out of these 4 units of the whole syllabus of drafting, pleading and conveyancing. The course outcome of unit number 1 is that the student would be able to define and explain the basic concepts, the nature and scope of pleadings. Further, they would also be remember and understand these concepts. And also, I would like to mention that the student would also be able to compare the difference between plain written statement, suit, and also understand the difference between rejoinder and replication. Further, students would be able to identify new laws and also to scrutinize the judgments which has led to the dismissal or rejection of plaint by way of an error committed by the lawyers in drafting the suits or the petitions, as the case may be, which has its impact on the drafting of various types of plaint and petitions, etc. The second course outcome of the unit number 2 is to analyze and understand the different types of writs mentioned under the Constitution of India. Further, analyze and understand the 5 different types of writs and application thereof by drafting them, and apply and understand and thereafter the concept of civil appeal, review and revision, and thereby to draft these petitions. Remember, and its drafting procedure as well. So these are the objectives or the course outcome of unit number 2. Now I would like to mention or throw some light on course outcome of unit number 3. This course outcome of unit number 3 on the student is that they are going to develop and analyze and apply the law relating to various criminal pleadings such as bail application, application for compounding of an offense, complaint under section 138 of Negotiable Instrument Act, and thereby helps the student to understand and develop their practical and logical reasoning to the given facts of the each case. Now I would like to mention the course outcome of the unit number 4, which will be able to give you a holistic picture of this whole outcome of the whole syllabus of this drafting, pleading, and convincing. The fourth course outcome of the unit number 4 is understand and develop these things of the students to draft different type of convincing, such as sale deeds, lease deed, mortgage deeds, and describe the various elements to draft these documents and understand the students and understand the various provisions of law relating to drafting of various notices under the law. So this is the course outcome of drafting, pleading, and convincing. Now I would like to throw some light on the teaching pedagogy and the duration of this whole course or the subject as the case may be. Majorly, the lecture method and the case law method will be used, but to make the students and to give the students a more holistic view, I would like to use the tutorials, class discussion, flipped classes, and group learning methodology as such. So this is the teaching pedagogy which I am going to apply to further develop upon this course or further develop upon this particular subject in future. And the duration of the course is divided into 2 parts. I have divided the whole course into 60 lectures. That means one lecture is of 1 hour. Therefore, total hours we are going to use in this particular course or in this particular subject is 60 hours. 40 hours for theory lectures, 20 hours for practical lecture. Hope you have understood my the understanding about the course objectives and the syllabus and the course outcome and teaching pedagogy and the duration of the course. Hope you have understood the lecture. Hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you very much. We will be meeting you in my next number of lectures in a short duration. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much.